Hi friends, Starry, Hilder, and I know, they're so cute. They're so cuddly. These are the meat rabbits, and I am back babysitting this week, taking care of these gorgeous meat rabbits on this, rural homestead that raises chickens and meat rabbits, and they're trying to be as self-sustainable as possible. And that's why I'm back here and I'm taking out the camera, because I really felt compelled this week, especially after putting up my video addressing, the top reasons to raise meat rabbits. I got a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback. Man, there's a lot of people out there who have raised rabbits and they really love it for their sustainable needs. They're easy to raise. They don't take a lot of time, a lot of effort. They're not really costly, and they make some really good lean meat. Now, with that said, I know people don't want to hear about the harvesting and the butchering, and you eat these cute little rabbits. So I really wanted to talk about the cute, cuddly meat rabbits. And the reason why I wanted to grab the camera today while I am babysitting is I am here to educate people. This is what I love about my my homesteading off-grid channel. I love educating and showing people the reality to our lifestyle, no frills, just the way it is. I love giving tips. I love doing tutorials, and I know you friends appreciate that. And not only am I teaching and educating, but I'm also giving people who have never experienced this lifestyle before an inside peek. And it is real. This is how we sustain. Now, with that being said, when I put up videos, there are parts of this lifestyle that some people just can't wrap their brains around. In fact, when I did my video, when I was talking about canning venison and bear meat, I talked about canning cat. And people were freaking out because they thought I was like actually canning domestic cat. And I had to explain that no, this is really mountain lion. And yes, mountain lion is an animal that you can hunt out here in the mountains, and you can eat it and you can can it. And when I was talking about canning cat, I wasn't talking about canning domestic cat. But people just don't know. You don't know. And that's okay. And that's why I'm here to educate and to show you, what this lifestyle is about and the things that we do to help us sustain. So now we got to talk. We're going to talk about the realities of raising farm animals for harvest. And the reason why I'm doing this follow-up is really to clarify and make people who had some comments that were pretty raw, pretty sensationalized, and some of them assumed the wrong thing. And sometimes it's just lack of education, it's lack of being exposed to this lifestyle, it's lack of not knowing, and but some of the comments were a little extreme, and it's unfortunate because us homesteaders, when we choose to raise farm animals, we do so as humanely and as respectfully as we can. I love my meat birds. Even though I have to harvest them, I love them. And we are very blessed because we have a homestead where we can free range them. We have room, and they eat and they forage and they have very healthy lives up until the day that we have to harvest them. And there is no joy in harvesting any animal. There were a couple people that said, they were pretty cruel comments. They were actually uncalled for. They talked about twisting off the heads of the rabbits and psychopaths and how we must enjoy doing that, and we're like bloodthirsty killers. I take offense to that. And I'm sure most of the homesteaders who raise meat rabbits and meat birds and turkeys and whatever take offense to that too. That's disrespectful. If you've watched any of our videos, you'll see that me and Mr. Hilder are very respectful of all the animals that we harvest, and no homesteader takes any joy when it comes to butchering time. That is just a fact. When it does come to butchering time, we also do so in the most humane and respectful way. We don't like doing it. Nobody likes doing it. But when you divulge into this lifestyle and you decide to raise your own food, this is the reality of it. You know, we often forget our ancestors. How did they eat? They had to kill. They didn't just have to forage and have gardens. They had to kill animals in order to eat for their sustainability. And homesteaders choose not to go to the grocery store and buy meat and chicken, which has been raised very inhumanely. For the most part, these commercialized chicken growers and meat growers, horrible conditions. But no one ever thinks about going to the grocery store and buying that steak or chicken. They have, you know, they don't care. They don't know where it comes from, so why should they care? They put it in their mouth, right? But if you know how they are raised, you would be appalled, and you probably would stop eating meat and chicken. You wouldn't want to support that. But then we get criticism for raising our own meat birds and our own meat rabbits. And why? Because we don't want to contribute to that. We want to be more independent. We want to be more sustainable. And we do so in a very humane way. And we're respectful, and we provide better lives for all of these farm animals than they'd ever see. And when it comes to butchering time, we do so also humanely. You can go on YouTube and see some of those videos of how they butcher those cows. It's not humane. So you have to put things into perspective. And I'll just throw this out here too. When you come to my channel and you're throwing out comments like that, I always have to say, why? Why be so disrespectful? Why be so over the top and exaggerating about what you think we're doing? I mean, we're twisting off the necks and we're enjoying it? And we're bloodthirsty killers and I'm unsubscribing? Well, then you probably do need to unsubscribe because you don't belong in our family. And because, again, when you come to my channel, I expect respect for each other. It is a place of gathering where there's fellowship. We promote, we inspire, we uplift, and hopefully the words that are coming out of our mouths are edifying. It's really important that we do that. We're all adults. And it always kills me when people show up and they're just so cruel and rude and harsh with their comments. And I often have to ask myself, what purpose does it serve? On my channel, it doesn't serve a purpose. So you're either going to go in the trash can, or you're going to get a reality check from some of my viewers who will kindly and gently say, you know, it shouldn't be, you need to watch your tongue. Tongue is a very wicked thing, and you know, there's just no need for that. Real quickly too, number one, I'm not raising meat rabbits. No, even though I love them, I would have them as pets. So, you know, pick and choose your farm animals wisely because they are cute, and people have already told me that when it comes to harvesting time, this is probably one of the more difficult animals to harvest if you're into cute and cuddly. Number two, some people did ask about the wire cages. The wire cages apparently are a little bit old-fashioned, but people do still use them for their rabbits. And apparently their little foot pads, it can be hard on their feet. Now the people who have these meat rabbits that I am babysitting, they're an older couple. This is what works well for them. They're old, they don't get around very well, and so they have this little area on the side of their chicken coop where they raise these meat birds humanely, and yes, they raise them in these little cages. Not all people can have wonderful rabbit runs and room, and then you might say, well, then you shouldn't raise it. No, again, it goes back to these are meat rabbits, and they're specifically being raised for meat and to eat. And as you can see, these rabbits are healthy and happy. I mean, and I've looked at their pads of their feet. They're okay. Every time I come out here, they are hopping around, and they're in good health. No health problems, no calluses on the bottom of their feet. So, you know, sometimes it's hard to stomach. And that is why not everybody can raise something like a meat rabbit. And then instead they just go to the store and they buy the meat. So I guess Starry has hopefully enlightened some people a little bit more today with this follow-up babysitting rabbit commentary. I really think it's important that people who come to my channel remember that this is a lifestyle, it's a philosophy, and we are trying to feed our family, raising meat rabbits and enjoying it and teaching their children, and they're saving money and they've got a great source of meat, and we should all be respectful and proud that these people are trying to make a way for themselves and trying to be less dependent on the system and actually contributing instead of taking. That's a big thing to remember. Homesteaders of America it's a great movement, and we should be giving them a high five and a thumbs up instead of criticizing and being so critical on the things that we're doing. So remember that. All right. God bless, friends, and I'm glad I could take you back in to see the meat rabbits, and I know they're cute. That's why they're just my friends and my friends alone, and I will not be here on Butchering Day. It's just the way it is. All right. God bless.